This is Southern Cross News with Rachel Williams.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. The Tasmanian Liberals are promising to inject more than $750 million into the health system as part of a 6-year plan. Health bodies say it validates their repeated calls to fix a system in crisis, as the opposition questions the timing of the funding rollout.
An official campaign launch for re-election. The Liberals today making their pledge to the party faithful with a promise to deliver more than $750 million into the health system.
We have worked bloody hard to get our budget back into balance so we can do what we are going to do to give Tasmanians the health care that they need.
The plan is to provide almost 300 new hospital beds and more than 1,300 additional staff. The breakdown will see 250 new beds in the redeveloped Royal Hobart Hospital rolled out over 7 years. Another 32 beds for the Launceston General Hospital due in 2023 and an additional 8 medical beds for the North West.
This also provides for 376 additional staff just in the next 3 years. And so it's a great opportunity for us to increase capacity and employ extra health professionals.
An announcement welcomed by medical bodies amid the need for an immediate health injection.
There's been an underinvestment in health, and as a result we have not been performing as we should have been at the Australian sort of level.
Our health system is in probably worse condition that we've ever seen it. We are having crisis after crisis, and this announcement in the short term doesn't resolve any of those issues.
It's a health spend trumping Labor's $560 million. The opposition says it will front-load its funding in the first 2 years.
We've got a health crisis right now that needs to be addressed, and Labor's plan is about investing in services, investing in staff that will be delivered in the first term of a Labor majority government.
It's a progressive increase year on year, and each year it compounds and going forward over those 6 years. So it's a substantial increase in expenditure by government.
An expenditure yet to be accounted for across the forward estimates.
After cutting $210 million out of the health system in their first budget, to come back after 4 years in government and say, give us another chance, I think Tasmanians will be very sceptical about this.
Jacqueline Robson, Southern Cross News.
And we're joined live now by the Health Minister, Michael Ferguson. Good evening, Minister. This is a record spend, but it's a tail-heavy rollout. How is that going to deal with the immediate capacity needs, given the policy outlines just 54 beds in the next term of government?
Good evening, Rachel, and to your viewers. This is a big announcement for us, and it builds on the already record expenditure. Every year we've put more into health, and we want to do more, and we are opening beds and putting out the welcome mat as we recruit another 1,300 additional health staff. And this is possible because we've fixed the budget and we're able to do even more now.
So there are already medical vacancies across the system. How do you actually find, employ and then pay for over 1,300 new staff in a timely manner?
So you have seen under the previous government where they cut health, we've been investing in health, and the dividends are there because we already have more than 300 additional frontline health staff in our health system here in Tasmania, and we will continue to strongly recruit, and we're strongly encouraging Tasmanians to get first and best option on those jobs. And clearly there's a big opportunity here for training and new employment opportunities as we grow health and provide a better standard of care and taking the Tasmanian health system to the next level under a Hodgman majority Liberal government.
OK, thank you for your time tonight, Minister. 2 more Hobart homes have been targeted in separate arson attacks overnight. The front room of this property at Carl Road in Bridgewater was destroyed by a blaze which started around 2 a.m. It caused around $8,000 damage. And in what the Tasmania Fire Service says was a separate incident, a vacant residence in this Herdsman's Cove street was also targeted. Piles of mattresses were pushed under the property and set alight, causing around $5,000 damage. Investigations into these incidents and 2 other suspicious fires which destroyed homes over the weekend are continuing. Anyone with information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers. And the Hobart Cup has drawn thousands of punters today, with people flocking for the fun and fashion of one of the state's biggest race meets. Punters placing their bets to back a winner, while a star-studded lineup kept the crowds entertained.
And they're off. Thousands gathering for all the action of the Hobart Cup. This year focusing on drawing in a younger crowd. Cheers!
with Asta and the Rubens taking to the stage to entertain the masses.
Party vibes, just funky, soul music, yeah.
I assume there'll be some people who are ready to celebrate because they won. There'll be some people who want to drown their sorrows because they lost. But we'll just, we'll all do it together.
It's just those little extra things that can make them actually come and enjoy the on-track entertainment, and hopefully that engages them into the future.
Fashions on the field a guaranteed winner. These ladies putting in months of preparation before the big event.
The biggest social aspect of the year, so yeah. My grandmother and my mother made my dress for me, so they put in a lot of effort and they've done an amazing job. It's wonderful.
The judges impressed by the array of outfits on display.
The bold colours are definitely coming back into fashion again, so it's fantastic. We're getting away from the blacks, it's really nice.
With fashions the highlight of the day for many, others are flocking to the bookies to place their bets and hopefully back a winner.
We haven't gone so well so far. Hopefully things will look better soon.
So I was impressed with that, so one so far, that's good.
Some of the crowd just there for a wild boys' day out.
So who designed you today, the Salvo?
The Salvo Army, yep, $15.
Louise Hedger, Southern Cross News.
Animal activists stage a protest at the entrance of the Hobart Cup today in a bid to raise awareness over what they say is the dark side of horse racing.
Look, there's no question that they're suffering. I mean, they're pushed beyond their natural limits. They're forced to exert themselves to the point where they are sustaining injuries in many cases.
We take the welfare of our participants and animals very, very seriously. I hope they can find some fun and enjoy the day.
Animals Tasmania says it wants to ban racing altogether. A commemoration service has been held by the National Servicemen's Association. The event at Longford paying respects to those who were called up to serve from the 1950s to 1970s.
Some of us went kicking, most of us, after being there for 3 months or 12 months, we enjoyed it because we bonded.
This year marks the 67th anniversary of the first National Serviceman entering the Australian Defence Force.
The first ever All-Australian men's final in the Launceston International has been decided in under an hour. Victorian Mark Polman's crushing South Australia's Bradley Mousley 6-2, 6-2. While in the women's, the unseeded Gabriella Taylor put on another masterclass to beat Asia Muhammad 6-3, 6-4. This really was Gabriella Taylor's tournament. The unseeded Brit had not dropped a set going into today's final, and her winning ways continued, taking the opening stanza 6 games to 3. But the flashy display wasn't perfect. 4th-seeded American Asia Muhammad broke serve in the second set to go 4 games all. But this was something 19-year-old Taylor quickly rectified, breaking Muhammad's serve the very next game. Serving for the match, the Southampton local tied up her first Launceston crown after exactly 1 hour on court.
I just honestly was thinking about focusing on my game plan and all the things I've been working on.
She plans to return in 2019 to defend her title.
This is the first time in Tasmania and I'm loving it and I'm loving the weather.
Victorian Mark Polmans was unstoppable in the men's match, storming home over Bradley Mousley in under an hour to claim the biggest win of his career to date. Like Taylor, Polmans did not drop a set all tournament.
Saved my best match for last, so I'm super stoked that I was able to perform as good as I possibly could, I'm just happy I got the win today.
Polmans expects the win to propel his ranking above 250, which would put him within reach of Grand Slam qualification. It's taken just 3 overs for Queensland to end Tasmania's slim hopes of victory on day 4 of the Sheffield Shield. The Tigers' second innings ended on 8 for 219 after Jackson Bird and Gabe Bell were unable to bat due to injury. Luke Feldman claimed the scalps of Simon Malenko and Tom Rogers today to finish with 9 wickets for the match. South Australian Mare Pretty Punk has taken out the Hobart Cup. Trained by Leon McDonald, Pretty Punk got the jump on the race favourite to claim the $250,000 cup.
It's a real finish coming up. Pretty Punk put the nose in front, 100 left to go. Andrea Mantegna trying to get it, but it's Pretty Punk in front. Pretty Punk does it. Pretty Punk wins the cup. Andrea Mantegna.
The 4-year-old mare paid $7 for the win.
Welcome back. A beautiful day around the state. 19 for Hobart, 23 for Launceston and Devonport, with 20 on the top in Burnie. Around Tasmania, Bridport had the state's top with 24 degrees, 23 there at St Helens. Scottsdale reached 22, 21 at Cressy, Smithton, Wynyard and also on the Friendly Beaches. Campania and Ouse hit 20 with 18 the top for Strawn. On the charts, there's low level cloud visible over the Bight associated with a ridge of high pressure across the south of the continent and thunderstorm activity over the top end. Over the state, mostly low level cloud with widespread cloud covering maritime areas. Tomorrow, the front moves to the west coast of Tasmania. The trough remains dominant over the mainland with the high over southern WA. Onto the waters, southwest to northwesterly winds 10 to 20 knots, lighter and more variable in the east with seas reaching 2 metres. No warnings, so on to Monday, showers developing for the south, Hobart, Dover and Ouse all 22, 24 in Launceston, Devonport 23 degrees with 22 the top for Scottsdale, partly cloudy for those parts, 23 in Burnie, Strawn 19 with showers possible in Stanley, 22 degrees, and on the east coast 22 for St Helens and Swansea, Ross 23 degrees. But the UV still remains very high. Looking ahead, a fine day on Tuesday, just some light coastal showers later on in the day. Morning showers expected across the state on Wednesday, with a mostly fine day on Thursday, just some showers for the west and the south, as well as the Bass Strait Islands. Looking around the major centres for tomorrow, 36 degrees in Brisbane, 32 for Cairns, Darwin and Perth with mostly sunny conditions, 30 for Canberra with 27 the top in Sydney, Melbourne 22 with cloudy 24 degrees in Adelaide. And mostly clear conditions around the state, 17 for Hobart, Launceston 23 and 21 in Devonport. That's all for the weekend weather rate. Murph will join you tomorrow.
I look forward to it after his stint at the Hobart Cup. Thank you for that, Sam. Well, that's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Good night.